Hello, beautiful people. My name is Garba Sithole, and I'm a student from the University of Witwatersrand studying accounting science. So in today's video, we are going to do part B of the past paper of the June 2022 past paper that we did. If you haven't watched the previous video, please do watch it. We covered question 1 to 20, and in this video, we're going to cover question 21 to 40. Okay, cool. So I already wrote the answers down just to make sure that I try to keep the video short. So we'll do our calculations in this book. So number 1 says, which of the following statements below is or are correct? So this is talking about this information that we had on the previous page, because they said to use this diagram to answer 20 and 21. So before the text, right? Before the text, okay, let's see what the question is asking. So the first one says, before the text on sellers, the consumer surplus was 625. Okay, so they are asking if the consumer surplus was 625 before the tax on sellers. So before the tax on sellers, the equilibrium was here, where they are producing 5 and 900. So this whole area is the consumer surplus. So to calculate consumer surplus, you calculate the area of this triangle right here. So this triangle. So it's 1,500 minus 900, 1,150 minus 900 times the quantity, which is 5, then you divide by 2, 625. And they also said 625, right? So the first statement is correct. The next one says the tax on sellers created a deadweight loss of 100. So the tax on sellers created a deadweight, but we don't know the value. So let us calculate what the value is. So this is the deadweight loss, the small triangle here. So it's 950 minus 850, 100 times 5, 500 divided by 2, 250. So the deadweight loss is 250, not 100. So that answer is wrong. So this is correct, this is wrong. Before the tax on sellers, the producer surplus was 200. So before, where we have this equilibrium, the producer surplus is this whole area, 900 minus 650 times 5 divided by 2. That is wrong. It is actually 625 as well, but they said 400. So okay, after the tax on sellers, the consumer surplus is 400. Okay, so after the tax, we are here after the tax, so the consumer surplus is now from here to here all the way to here. So it's 1,150 minus 950 times the quantity of 4 divided by 2, and you get 400. So the last option is also correct. So this is also correct, so that's why our answer is D. And then it says Dolly purchased veggie burgers and mineral water. The marginal utility of burgers, the MU of burgers is 12, and the marginal utility of mineral water is 3. The veggie burger was priced at 40 Rand, while the mineral water was priced at 10 Rand. It can be concluded that Dolly is spending too much on burgers and not enough on water, spending her income in such a way as to maximize her utility. So to know whether Dolly is maximizing her utility or not, okay, let me just make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. So what you have to do, they told us that, okay, just want to make sure you guys can see everything I'm doing. Okay, so they told us that the MU of burgers, Rand, and the MU of mineral water over Rand. So the MU of burgers is, you take the MU 12, divide by the price of 40, you get 0.3, and then you take the MU, which is 3 over 10, you also get 0.3. So you guys see that the MU of burgers per Rand is equal to the MU of mineral water per Rand as well, and they are both equal to 0.3. So when these two are equal for particular goods, it means that the consumer is maximizing their utility. So that's why the answer is B. Okay, next question says Mercy eats healthy at work and has a budget of 11 Rand. She buys broccoli, carrot, and corn flour. The price of broccoli is 2 rand. They give you the prices. The table below shows her marginal utility from consuming broccoli, carrot, and corn flour. Okay, so they give you the MU of each good and the prices. So to know the utility maximizing consumption, you need to divide everything by their price. So I think I did that. Okay, yeah. Let me just show you. Forget about this. So 2.3, right? I'm not sure if you guys can see. So the MU parent of B, right? 2 rand price, 1 rand, 1 rand. So 25 divided by 2, 12.5. 20 divided by 2, 10. 10 divided by 2, 5. 6 divided by 2, 3. 5 divided by 2, 2.5. 2 divided by 2, 1. You do the same for the rest of the thingies. And then you highlight where their MU parent is equal. After doing that, we test the first one, the 10 rand, because the 10, 10, 10 is equal in all of them. So what you do is you take the quantity, you multiply by 2. So you will say 2 times 2, right? So they are spending 4 rand plus 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2, right? Plus here they are spending 1 on the 10 rand, so plus 1 rand. So do you guys see that it took them 7 rand, but their income is 11 rand? So we won't take the 10. You go to the 5. 5 times 2, 10. Plus 3 times 1, 3. Plus 1 times 2, 2. So, sorry. Let me just start afresh. So it's 3 times 2. 3 times 2, you have 6 plus 5 times 1. 3 times 1, 3 plus 2 times 1, 2. So 6 plus 3 plus 2, you get 11. So at the quantity of 5, the consumer is maximizing their income. So that is the profit maximizing. That is the utility maximizing point, where they are consuming 3 broccolis, 3 carrots, and 2 cornflowers. So that option corresponds to E. 3 broccolis, 3 carrots, and 2 cornflowers, right? And then 24, what happens to Mercy's consumption behavior when her income decreases to 7 rand? Did you guys see that when we calculated the 10, we said 2 times 2, we got our answer. 2 times 1, we got our answer. 1 times 1, we found that the answer gives us 7. So the correct answer is when they are consuming 2, 2, and 1, right? So 2, 2, and 1, right? So any answer that has V is my potential answer. And then what happens when her income decreases to 7? Her budget line parallelly shifts. So whenever you have an income change, so your income was 11, but now it has changed, what will happen is that you will have a complete parallel shift. So it will shift inwards, right? So II is also correct. Hence our answer is C. Okay. Assume that Clark's income is 5,000. Further assume that the price of newspaper is 25 rand each and the price of coffee is 5 rand per cup. What is the equation of the budget line? Assume that the quantity of coffee cups lies on your x-axis. This information is very important so that you know, just in case there's a change, whether your slope will be steep or whether it will be smooth. It is very important to put that information. We'll see the coffee is on our x-axis. So they are asking about the budget line equations. So what you are going to do is to rearrange this equation, right? So you have y is equal to QC of coffee, PC plus QN for newspapers, and then you rearrange the function. So you take this to the other side, becomes negative, take the y to this side, becomes negative y. Then you divide everything by PC, by negative PC. You find that QC is equal to y over pc minus qn over pc times pn. And then you substitute what is y. Your y was 5,000. So 5,000 over 5, which was the price of coffee, minus what is pn over pc. The price of newspapers is 25 rand over the price of coffee, which is 5, times qn. So qc is 1,000 minus 5 qn. According to our options, qc 400, no. qc 300, no. So now you need to calculate what qn is. So you do the same thing, you rearrange your formula, you take this to the other side, it becomes negative qn pn is equal to negative y plus qc pc. And then qn, you divide everything by negative pn, right? And then after you've done that, this is what you get. Then you substitute into your formula. You have 5,000 over 25 minus 5 over 25. You find that the answer is 200 minus 0.2. So the correct answer is C. qn is equal to 200 minus 0.2 qc. Number 26, suppose that Clark's income decreases from 5,000 to 3,000. So there was a decrease in income. Income leads to a complete shift, right? An inward shift because there was a decrease in income, as well as prices of newspaper increases from 20 to 30. So let us draw the initial budget line. So they told us that coffees are on the x-axis. So you have coffee, you have newspapers. You are told that income decreases, so you have an outward shift, first of all, a parallel shift, so your slope won't change with this information. And then they continue to tell you that as well as the price of newspapers increases from 25 to 30. So you can buy less of newspapers, but you can still buy the same thing, the same amount of coffee. So it will swing again inward, right? So do you guys see that after it is swing, you now have a gentle slope? This was a steep slope. Steep basically means it's hard to climb a mountain. It would be hard to climb a mountain like this than it would be to climb a mountain like that. So it would be hard to climb this mountain, then it would be hard to climb than this mountain. This mountain is said to be gentle. This is said to be steep because it is hard to climb it. So when they say that his budget line will shift downwards, we agree with that. It will become flatter. Yes, flat means it's gentler. It is easy to climb the mountain. So it will be flatter. This is flatter than this one. So the answer is C. Number 27, taking the changes of question 26 into account, which of the statements below is or are correct? So the relative price of newspapers in terms of coffee is 6. So the new price of newspapers is 30 over the price of our coffee, which was 5. 30 divided by 5 is 6. So the first answer is correct. And then the equation of the budget line is qn, okay, the new budget line. So they want it in terms of qn. We already rearranged qn. So what you have to do is to use this formula. So our new income is 3,000 divided by the price of newspaper, which is now 30, I mean. And then you have 100, right? Minus PC, the price of coffee, which is still 5, over the price of newspapers, which is now 30. Then you get 0.167, right? And then QC. So this is correct. Clark's relative income in terms of coffee is 1,000. So the income is 3,000. You divide by the price of coffee, which is 5. You find it's 600, not 1,000. The maximum quantity of newspapers he can purchase is 300. So to find the maximum quantity that can be produced, you take y is equal to px qx. You solve it. Y is equal to py qy. So you will take whatever income you had. The new income is 3,000. You divide by they are talking about what? Newspapers. So the price of newspapers is 30 qx. Then you solve for qx. So it's 3,000 divided by 30, and then you get 100. So the maximum number of newspapers the person can purchase is 100, not 300. So this answer is wrong. That's why our answer is A, which only has this and this as the option. Okay, I'm trying to be as fast as I can so that the video is not long. So you need to complete this table. So I'm just going to show you the first two on how you calculate the first two, and then you guys can complete the equation. Based on what you get here, you can now interpret the graph. the graphs, right? So the first one, you will have 0, 0. So what will be our marginal product here? 40,000 minus 0 divided by 1, right? So 40,000. And then it's 80,000. It's change in total product over the change in the quantity. So it's 80,000 minus 40,000 divided by 2 minus 1, which is 40,000. Right here, it's 130,000 minus 80,000 divided by 3 minus 2, which will give you 50,000. So that's how you calculate marginal product. You guys can try the rest, and if you are not able to reach those values, please ask your questions in the comment section below. Average product is total product divided by quantity, so it's 40,000 divided by 1. And then here it's 80,000 divided by 2, 40,000, 130,000 divided by 3, this 190 divided by 4, 230 divided by 5, 250 divided by 6. Then you get your average product. Total cost, marginal cost, is change in total cost over the change in quantity. You guys need to be very alert, and you need to read how they label your values. So in this case, they said quantity, right? So if they say quantity, for your averages, you will divide by the quantity. But if they said labor, for the marginal product, you would divide by the labor. For the average total cost, you would divide by the total product. I repeat, if this was labor, to calculate the marginal product, you would say change in total product over the change in labor. For the marginal cost, it would be change in total cost over the change in total product. But because they just said quantity, so we will just divide by quantity. Marginal cost, change in total cost over change in quantity. So it's 10,000 minus 5,000, you get 5,000. You do the same, 20,000 minus, okay, so 10,000 minus 5,000 divided by 2 minus 1. And then you do the same for the rest of them, you get your values. For your fixed costs are the costs you get when your quantity is 0. So total cost where Q is 0 is 5,000. So my fixed costs will all be 5,000. Variable cost is total cost minus fixed cost. So you just need to subtract this and this, this and this, this and this, this and this. Then you do your variable costs, right? Average total cost is what? Is your total cost divided by your quantity. So you will divide these values by your quantities. This is what you will get. Average variable cost is your variable cost divided by your quantity. So you will take these values, divide them by the quantity, get these values. So let me write the formulas down. So it's change in total product over the change in quantity. Total product divided by quantity. Change in total cost over the change in quantity. Fixed cost with you have T of 0. Variable cost, total cost minus fixed cost. Average total cost divided by quantity. Average variable cost divided by quantity. After you find your values, you can now answer their questions, right? So what I like to do is to draw my graphs. So those are the two graphs you will have for the MP and the AP, and then this is the graph that you will have for your MC and your ATC. And then they are saying at what quantity level is the MP equal to the AP. So you go to your graph and you check which quantity level is the MP equal to the AP, quantity 1 and quantity 2. But there's no 1 here, so you take 2. So your answer is A. 29. What quantity level does the MC and the ATC cut? So when they cut, it means they are equal at that point. So now you need to go and check where the MC is equal to your ATC. MC equal to ATC, it is at quantity 2, where you have 10,000 on your MC, 10,000 on your ATC. Therefore, your answer is A. Number 30 has something missing, so we are going to skip it. What happens at quantity 2? So at quantity 2, let's check what's happening at quantity 2. So let's just also check what they are asking about. So they are asking about the AP, the ATC. Okay, so at quantity 2, what is happening to our AP? At quantity 2, they are equal, right? So the MP is at quantity 2, the MP is 40, AP is 40, so they are equal. When they are equal, the AP is at its maximum. So the AP is neither decreasing, neither is it increasing. So this is wrong, right? So ATC is increasing, the ATC is increasing. At quantity 2, let me use my ruler. At quantity 2, the ATC is 10,000. To know if it is increasing or decreasing, you will compare it to the MC. So the ATC and the MC are equal here, so it's not increasing, it is at its minimum point, because remember, the MC cuts the ATC at its minimum point. So at this point, they are equal, it is not increasing, it is at its minimum point. So this is wrong. The AVC is increasing. At quantity 2, is the AVC increasing? So you compare the AVC and the MC. The AVC is 7,500. So you'll have your graphs like this: MC, AVC. So it is 7,500. The MC is 10,000. Which one is above which one? The AVC is below the MC, so it is increasing, right? So let us see, is it increasing? Yes, they said increasing, so this is correct. The ATC is decreasing. We did say that it is at its minimum, so IV is correct. But if you check in your options, no option has IV only, so none of these options are correct, is your answer. Number 32. So we are looking at a perfect competitor, right, market. So they said that number 32, which of the following statements is or are correct? First of all, you need to check whether this is the short run or the long run. So you touch where the MC is equal to the MR, and then you go, this is also the demand curve, and then you go and you touch your ATC, your average total cost, right? This whole area where the cost is above the AR. Remember, this is also the AR. It is also equal to the demand. So they are making an economic loss, meaning this is the short run. So the market price in the t-shirt manufacturing industry is 185. The market price. No, the market price is where the demand is. So the market price is 150. So you touch the demand curve and you look at the price they set. That's the price, you know, the industry is setting. This market is an efficient market structure, yes, because there are no shortages, there are no surpluses. You are delivering what is needed. So if there are no shortages, there are no surpluses, it means there's no deadweight loss. If there's no deadweight loss, the market is efficient. The market price in the t-shirt manufacturing industry is 150. Yes, that is correct. The market, no, we just said it is efficient. So the correct answer is II and triple I, so C. Number 32, which of the following statements is or are correct? The firm is in the short run equilibrium. Yes, because they are making an economic loss. The firm is in the long run equilibrium. No, they only make zero economic profits in the long run, meaning they are making normal profits. The firm is making economic loss equal to 280. So to know the economic loss, it's 185 minus 150. One is this whole area right here. So 185 minus 150 times 8. We won't divide by 2 because this is a rectangle. Area of a rectangle, breadth times length. 280. So yeah, this is correct. The firm is making zero economic profits. That's not true. We just said it's making an economic loss. So the correct answer is I and triple I, D. Okay, 7 more questions to go. In the long run, economic profits or loss for this firm will be 0. You always make 0 economic profits or loss in the long run. 35, which of the following is correct regarding monopoly market structure? A monopoly is always state-owned. That is not true. It's not always state-owned. It can also be privately owned. Normally, the state-owned monopolies are called parastatals, which is basically a natural monopoly made by the government. So don't worry about that, guys. Parastatals, that's something you don't do. Licensing, oh, maybe it's something you will do in macroeconomics, but yeah, don't worry about it for now. licensing products can give a firm a monopoly power. Yes, remember what makes a monopoly can be artificial or naturally made. Artificial means it is made by legal things such as licenses, copyrights, patents. Natural means it's because of economic reasons such as economies of scale. So licensing products can definitely can give a firm monopoly power. A monopoly is always a price discriminator. That's not true. We have two types of monopolies: single price monopolies and perfect price discriminator monopolies. So perfect, this is the one I was talking about. Perfectly priced discriminating monopolies are efficient. That is true, because I think I did explain this in my videos, but let me just, I love you guys so much. So, okay, I'm not able to draw the graphs. Whenever I try to draw the graphs, they never make sense. But let me just give you notes instead. So basically, there's no consumer surplus. Consumer surplus. Producer surplus will eat away the consumer surplus as well as the deadweight loss. Reason being that in this market, the monopoly will set the highest price that the consumer is willing to pay. So if initially, before the market came in, you were willing to pay this high price, they will sell the good at this high price. If you're willing to pay at this price, they will give you the good at this price. Even if the market price is 10 rand, and you're willing to buy at 60, we give you at 60. Willing to buy at 40, we give you at 40. So they are discriminating. So they will eat away the deadweight loss. So they will do that until they get to the equilibrium price, meaning that you will only have producer surplus. So this will become producer surplus. They will eat away the consumer surplus, becomes producer surplus. There was deadweight loss, right? Initially, they will eat away the deadweight loss, and they are producer surplus, right? So they are efficient. They are efficient until they have rent seeking. Rent seeking is something we don't focus much on, but rent seeking is basically when other firms are trying to enter the market in such a way that you end up being inefficient as well. So if they talk about rent seeking, just know neither of the types of monopolies are efficient. So the perfectly priced discriminating monopoly can be inefficient if there's rent seeking. Okay, let me note that is so important, guys. They might try to trick you if there is rent seeking. All types of monopolies are inefficient. Alrighty, we're almost done. Number 36. Okay. Use the following figure below, which represents an airline which is a single price monopoly. Single price monopolies are inefficient. So just be on the lookout for deadweight loss. Be on the lookout for consumer surplus, producer surplus, right? Okay, so the first one says the airline makes an economic profit equal to 2.4 million. So remember that they will touch where the MC is equal to the MR. You touch the ATC and then you touch the demand curve to know what their price is. So, sorry. This is what you will do. You will touch the ATC, check that price. You'll touch the demand curve, check that price, right? Then this whole area is actually your consumer surplus. So it's 1,800 minus 1,000, 800 times the quantity 4 divide by 2. Sorry, minus 1,000. Oh my God, I'm coming.